So this is the ankle joint that I built. First I'll start off by explaining the bone, or the muscles, sorry. The major muscles in the ankle joint are in the front, the tibialis anterior, and in the back are the soleus and gastrocnemius. And those are the three major muscles. Then for the bones, this right here, the large one, is the fibula. The small one here is the tibia. Down here I have the calcaneus. Over in the middle is the talus bone. And the three up front there are the tarsals. So I made the major ligaments out of pipe cleaner here. So this is the deltoid ligament, this big one in yellow. Over here you can see these two pink sides. These are the tibiofibular ligaments. This is the anterior and posterior. This yellow one here is the calcaneofibular ligament. This one up front in purple is the talofibular ligament. The one underneath there, this is the long plantar ligament, the one in purple. And then for the tendons, the only major tendon in the ankle bone is the Achilles tendon, which is right here from the back of the calcaneus up to the muscle. When building my model, I did have some issues, so it actually ended up looking very much arts and craftsy, and not too proud of that, but it is what it is. So the materials I decided to use didn't work very well together. The styrofoam balls don't hold glue very well, so they didn't, and they also don't really hold tape either. So it was hard, and then it was also difficult to make them the shapes that they should be. So the calcaneus ended up just not being the shape it needed to be. As for the muscles, I did have trouble with those because I intended to use cloth, but it just didn't work out in my favor, so I used newspaper instead. But I did not give myself enough time for that. As well, another problem I had was just not giving myself enough time for mistakes and for the materials not working, etc. So as for the ankle's range of motion, it should only be able to point downwards with the toe, which is known as plantar flexion, and point upwards at the toes, which is called dorsiflexion. And this should be the only range of motion that an ankle has. As for an injury of the ankle, you could have an inversion sprain on your ankle. It's commonly known as rolling your ankle. So it happens when you have plantar flexed your ankle joint, and say, for example, you're jumping and you just flex too far, and it will sprain the tendons here, most likely your lateral ligaments. So that would be your calcaneofibular ligament here. When that is weaker than, say, your deltoid ligament, which tends to be because your deltoid ligament is very strong, that will become sprain, and that is how you roll your ankle. So you can have 3 degrees of this, and to like fix it or heal it, you would just apply ice every like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, as much as you can. You can put a pressure tensor wrap on it. If you need heat on it, don't do it for the first 3 days. And then you can elevate your foot to reduce the swelling. And if it is a very serious injury, you can get crutches for it. So that way you're not putting any pressure on the ligament there.